Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are taking a really substantial journey. We're exploring a spiritual landscape that isn't defined by a single dogma, but by thousands of unique ancient traditions. We're looking at how the divine is conceptualized across the African continent. And it's so essential to remember that Africa is this vast mosaic,
Yeah.
a continent of thousands of languages and belief systems.
Right. And each one offers a distinct, really profound perspective on creation and our place in the universe.
It really does.
And that's precisely why this deep dive is so vital. Our mission today is to move past the generalizations. We're going to explore 7 powerful and distinct African concepts of the divine. Each one represents a crucial facet of the relationship between humanity and the sacred.
From the all-encompassing source to, what, the fierce enforcer of justice?
All of that, yes.
Okay, so we have a lot of ground to cover. Let's lay out the roadmap for everyone. We'll be unpacking Chukwu, the great spirit of the Igbo people in Nigeria.
Then Sango, the thunderous Orisha from the Yoruba tradition.
After that, Mlungu, who is the creator figure for many Bantu cultures.
Then Yawo, the ancestral guiding principle of the Chukwu.
And we're also looking at Olorun, the supreme god of the Yoruba.
Nyame, the heaven-associated creator of the Akan in Ghana.
And finally, Ngai, who is revered at the sacred mountain by the Kikuyu and Maasai. These really aren't just names, they're entire worldviews.
That's a perfect way to put it.
So let's start with this idea of the invisible source, the ultimate origin point that sort of sets up the universe but often remains distant. We're starting in southeastern Nigeria with the Igbo concept of Chukwu.
Right. Chukwu literally translates to the great spirit or the source of all things. And when you look at how the Igbo describe this force, the key metaphor is, well, its invisibility and its presence everywhere.
Okay, how so?
Chukwu is described like sunlight. It's this invisible, overwhelming power that gives life and energy to everything. But you can't contain it. You can't put it in a single form or a shrine.
And the implication of that metaphor is, well, it's profound. If the divine power is invisible and infinite, then it can't be corrupted or, owned by anyone.
Exactly. The teaching implies that everything in nature is connected to Chukwu, and that all human beings share in that same creative spark.
Which requires a constant focus on moral integrity, doesn't it?
Absolutely. To honor Chukwu is to honor the balance of life. So when you act unjustly, you aren't just harming another person. You're creating a ripple of disorder in this divine system that connects everything.
It demands a highly moral communal life.
It does.
Okay, so if we connect this transcendent source to a system with a more structured cosmic order, we should probably move west to the Yoruba tradition and the supreme creator, Olorun. Now, the Yoruba system has many active deities, the Orishas, but Olorun sits right at the very top.
He is the ultimate source, often described as pure, undifferentiated light, the very breath that animated creation. But what truly defines Olorun's relationship with the world isn't so much his direct presence, but the energy he gives out. It's called Ol.
Ah.
Right. It's such a powerful word. I know it's often translated just as power, but it's so much deeper than that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can you unpack what Ao really means?
Yeah, it's much more than just power. It's divine authority, it's creative command, it's the cosmic law that governs all existence. Olorun has out completely, but the key teaching is that this energy is distributed.
Distributed how?
To everyone and everything. Every person, every river, every Orisha, even every word you speak has a certain amount of Ao.
Wow. So it's not just a gift then, it's a profound responsibility.
Precisely. If you use your up constructively to create truth, to enact justice, you're participating in Olorun's cosmic order. But if you misuse it, you create disorder. The whole system teaches that we all have this inner power to create change, but that power comes with immediate vibrational consequences.
That is an incredibly sophisticated system. It links free will directly to cosmic maintenance. But I'm wondering, if Olorun is so remote, how do the Yoruba deal with that distance and the need for, daily divine intervention? I assume that's where the Orishas come in.
That's exactly right. The Orishas are like the ministers of Olorun. They're the specific manifestations of that distributed Otis. And that actually brings us perfectly to an Orisha who embodies that immediate, decisive divine force.
Sango. Okay, let's turn to that, to the manifestation of justice and power. Sango is, he's arguably one of the most famous Orishas, the deity of thunder, fire, and power.
He is the archetype of righteous indignation. The metaphor used for him is the thunderbolt of truth. And it doesn't just strike, it destroys injustice and reveals what's hidden in the dark.
So justice isn't just some abstract idea. It's a divine, non-optional force that can appear at any moment.
Yes. And what stands out is the teaching that power must always be guided by righteousness. It's a very strict moral compass.
And there's a nuance there, right?
There is. While he's associated with fire and a certain temperament, his anger is considered sacred only when it's controlled, only when it's used to defend the innocent or restore balance. It's not just rage for rage's sake. For instance, in a lot of the stories, Ango punishes those who manipulate power for selfish gain. He ensures that cosmic justice is served immediately.
That kind of active external justice feels like a sharp contrast to our next concept. If Ongo is the immediate thunderbolt, let's look at a more internalized moral duty. Let's shift to the Chukwu tradition in Central Africa and the concept of Yawo.
Yawo, yes. This links the divine presence directly to the past, to ancestry and moral duty. It's seen less as a single deity and more as the continuous presence of the ancestors who are now merged with the divine source. The metaphor here would be a guardian flame, something that's always guiding, illuminating, and protecting the community from within.
So the divine is both your heritage and your ongoing responsibility.
Yes. The spiritual wisdom isn't just taught, it's carried through the elders and the ancestors. So respecting your elders is a spiritual imperative. They are the immediate custodians of cosmic harmony. The core concept is that the community is a single entity. Every action you take affects the entire tribe.
That gives such immense weight to just, your daily interactions, doesn't it? You can't just retreat into individual morality when the stability of the tribe depends on what you do.
You really can't.
So if Yawo emphasizes the nearness of the divine through ancestry, that's a perfect transition to looking up, to the broader, more transcendent creator watching from above.
Right. Lifting our eyes to the heavens and to Mlungu. Mlungu is a widely used term among many Bantu cultures, stretching across East and Central Africa. It basically means God, creator, or the one above.
And Mlungu is often symbolized by the endless sky, right? That vast protective canopy watching over creation.
Exactly. And what's fascinating about that sky metaphor is how it holds that duality we talked about. Mlungu is both near and far, transcendent yet personal. The key teaching is that Mlungu created it is harmony with nature, harmony between people, harmony with ancestors. These are the requirements for maintaining the created order. A lack of harmony is seen as a disconnection from the creator's original plan.
To deepen this idea of the transcendent sky being linked to destiny, we should turn to the Akan tradition in Ghana, to Nyame. Nyame is the creator associated with the heavens and the destiny of all beings.
Nyame is the ultimate architect. If Mlungu is the vast sky, Nyame is the intentional design within that sky. And this concept is most powerfully expressed through the term Nkrabea, the divine purpose or mission each person is born with.
Nkrabea. So how does a person discover this divine purpose? Is it something you realize later, or can you seek it out?
That's the whole spiritual journey. Akan wisdom teaches that before coming to earth, the soul actually selects its destiny as Nkrabea. But upon birth, the memory of this choice is sealed away.
Wow.
So life becomes this cycle of learning, death, and rebirth, all focused on realizing and fulfilling that specific mission. Finding your Nkrabea requires listening to ancestors, observing nature, and living a balanced life.
So existence isn't arbitrary. It has meaning baked right in by the creator. And you can see that focus on balance and design in their visual culture, like the famous Adintra signs.
They are powerful reminders, absolutely. The symbol Nyame, except for God, emphasizes Ninyame's ultimate authority. It elevates life from a series of random events to a deliberate, purposeful journey.
That gives such a profound spiritual weight to just existing. Okay, finally, let's bring the divine down to earth, quite literally, with our last specific concept, Ngai. This is central to the Kikuyu and Maasai peoples in Kenya and Tanzania.
Yes, Ngai is the creative force that resides at the mountain. For the Kikuyu, that is Mount Kenya. The mountain peak itself is the metaphor, a massive silent bridge between earth and sky, symbolizing divine authority and protection.
So the mountain isn't just where Ngai lives, it's a sacred altar. What does that mean practically to have the divine reside in the physical landscape?
It means nature becomes inherently sacred. Mountains, trees, certain groves, they aren't resources, they are the domain of God. The Kikuyu tradition involves praying while facing the mountain. It's seen as the most direct conduit to the divine.
So the core teaching here is that God is found in silence, in the majesty of nature, and in communal unity.
Exactly. Communal harmony is a reflection of Ngai's will on earth.
It's a cosmology that demands humanity humble itself before the power of the natural world, not seek to control it.
Okay, so we've traveled from the invisible source of Chukwu and Olorun, through the justice of Sango, the duty of Yawo, the transcendence of Mlungu and Nyame, and finally to the natural presence of Ngai. It's a stunning display of spiritual ingenuity. When you put it all together, what are the common threads that emerge?
That's what's so fascinating. These separate traditions converge on these core principles. First, that fundamental duality. God is seen as both utterly transcendent, beyond our comprehension, yet also intensely personal and involved in human life.
That near and far paradox, it keeps the divine both mysterious and accessible. Okay, what's the second thread?
Second, nature is never just a backdrop. It's consistently seen as a sacred teacher, a direct manifestation of divine authority. To disrespect nature is to disrespect the Creator.
And the third seems tied directly to social structure.
It is. Third, community is presented as absolutely essential for spiritual survival. Individual fulfillment is inseparable from collective harmony.
Which naturally leads to the fourth thread, the law of consequence.
Yes. Fourth, justice, harmony, and truth are always seen as non-negotiable divine laws. Whether it's Ngo's lightning bolt or the ancestral pressure of Yawo, moral integrity is required to maintain the world.
And the fifth?
And finally, and maybe the most profound of all, life is woven into a single interconnected web. Nothing exists in isolation. Everything is linked by that divine flow, or O.
That's such a crucial point. These traditions teach you that the divine isn't locked away somewhere inaccessible. It's present in the mountains, the wind, in the ancestors, and most intimately within the human heart that possesses it. They demand active participation in the world.
They do. They offer a spiritual framework that empowers the individual through responsibility. They show that the answers to life's biggest questions are found in the immediate ethical choices we make every day.
This deep dive really has showcased the complexity and richness of these ancient belief systems. They provide such profound answers to universal questions.
And as you reflect on all this, maybe consider this final thought. These concepts grant immense power and duty to you, to the individual. If your soul has nekrabea, a divine purpose, and if you wield ait, creative energy, how should that change the way you define your personal mission? The divine speaks every language, and the deep traditions of Africa offer some of the oldest insights into who we are and why we are here.